Hi everyone, welcome back to Metanoia. My name is Carrie Jane. Today I have been unexpectedly relieved from work, so I'm home early and I thought to myself, what better use of my time than to make a quick video for you guys and just show you what I've been working with. And so what I'm going to show you today is a new deck by Denise Linn called the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And yeah, this is pretty monumental in my opinion. I love anything by Denise Linn. If you haven't attained anything, if you haven't bought any of her decks yet, I highly recommend looking through her collection and picking the one that feels best for you. But this is definitely my favorite one of hers so far. I mean, look at that box. Comes in a beautifully illustrated, deep box. The name of the deck is powerful. Sacred Destiny. And so it has been hard recently, especially for me personally, and a lot of you may be going through this as well, to get back into the rituals and to get back into the really core important aspects of our lives and get in tune with them. And so, making sure we're in alignment with that. And by grounding it with this term, the sacred destiny, I feel like I've been helped a lot by Denise Linn. So thank you, Denise Linn, for making such a wonderful deck. Now, I first of all, I didn't know she had released a new deck. The first thing that I saw pop up in my newsfeed was this background, was this artwork. And it's stunning, obviously. I mean, it's sunlight casted over water, but it is also a very unique, personal image to me. When I was growing up, I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to spend a lot of time at the beach and even sleep over at the beach. So I spent many, many weeks every summer of my life growing up, waking up very, very early and going to the beach and watching the sunrise over the Atlantic Ocean. And this is exactly what it looked like. Sometimes sunrises look a lot like sunsets in that they cast a kind of like pinky, orangey glow into the sky. But I have never seen sunsets look like sunrises, these kinds of sunrises, where it's less of a pink glow and more of like a white, golden, brilliant light. And it's refracting off of the water in such a way that it like fills the air and is just completely expansive. And that was like my church experience. Like some people grew up with a religion and they felt that in church. I didn't, and when I did, I couldn't connect to anything in church. Like that sunrise over the beach was my connection to what some people would call the Holy Spirit, what some people would call the universe, what some people would call a million things. But what it's called, it doesn't really matter. It's a very sacred space. So immediately when I saw the back of this deck, I knew I needed it. I didn't even know it was by Denise Linn. Like I said, I didn't even know Denise Linn did another deck. I didn't know what the other artwork looked like. I just saw this and I knew I needed it. So here we are. And then I was very pleased to find how beautiful this deck was in other ways. The cardstock is very good. I'm not worried about wearing this down. And there's this increasing trend of kind of like getting away from the glossiness of the decks and getting more into kind of the matte finish. And I'm not sure if that's because there's a lot of YouTubers now using these decks, and they often complain about the glossy finish because it's very hard to see in a camera. It kind of just shines, and it's very hard to see the picture. So if you're like me or many people here on YouTube and you want to actually share your decks with other people in this way, great deck to have. Or perhaps you don't have a YouTube channel. Perhaps you do readings for other people through a camera. This, you don't have to worry about the person not being able to see it. And as you can see, the image is stunning. It's coming out better than the painting behind me. The painting looks blurry for some reason, but this is striking. It's just very powerful deck, in my opinion. The messages are not all the same. They're very diverse. That is something I'm always looking for. A lot of the time I pick up a deck and I just feel like I'm gonna get a lot of the same message, or I pick up the guidebook and it's a lot of the same stuff. Not the case with this deck. Everything is mixed and it's also complementary. The readings that I get from this deck when multiple cards come out are very multi-dimensional, and they fit perfectly, and I know exactly what I am meant to receive in that reading. And it has been very hard for me to find a deck that is compatible like that. And what I mean by compatible is that, artists a lot of the time, they make a bunch of brilliant artwork, but I notice they're kind of better on their own. They kind of just like shove them into a deck. And if you are, extremely intuitive and are not doing it for the message in the first place, and you're not doing it for the, image or the words in the first place, you can still connect to the image and get a reading. But I'm not that kind of reader. I do need something concrete for me to go off of and then meditate on and be like, you know what, this is what this meant, and now at the end of the day I can actually see how this is unfolding in a deeper way, if that makes any sense. That was kind of a choppy way to say that, so I hope that made sense. Release. And it's just so beautiful. I don't know how else to put it. And a lot of the times, borders are not done well, and I think a lot of people complain about borders, and I get why, but I like these borders. It makes it look like you're kind of peering into a frame or into an alternate universe, because even though these are grounded, like real things, there is a lot of surrealism in this artwork. You can see a lot of, I don't know if you're going to see this in the camera, but there's actually a map in the background of this, and a starry sky amidst the clouds. Maybe if I'll make it in the center here, cover my face up a bit. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. And this is courage. The images are perfect with the keywords. And let's see, wonders, and it's creative too. It's like, I feel like stuff I wouldn't necessarily see together. Like, this is a crystal generator within a galaxy. So yeah, this one's for the star seeds out there to connect with. And yet you pick up something like this and you get success, and there's this beautiful depiction of a jungle and interesting sky again, a bird, a jaguar, etc., flowers, what have you. It's not stuff that's like, I don't know what the word is, like, I feel like the level of artwork and mindfulness combined is deeper in a way that I couldn't come to on my own, and that's why it's helping me. So now I would like to share with you some card combinations that I got from this. Some are for me and some are for you. But the first thing that I like to do when I receive a deck is ask it a very big question, usually pertaining to the theme of the deck, about me, to break it in. So I asked the Sacred Destiny Oracle what my overall destiny was. And I got voyage and freedom, which makes a lot of sense to me because I'm actually 5 life path, the adventurer. So I know deep down, no matter what I'm facing, it has something to do with freedom. It has something to do with overcoming obstacles so that I can not feel bound anymore, that I am sovereign. So that was very accurate. It was just plain extremely accurate, and a very good confirmation as well. So I enjoyed that. Another day I got these two cards together. I got openness and love. Ooh, sorry. Openness is falling because I'm hard. I'm hard to open up to things. But yeah, and this was just a beautiful message, and it wasn't like the message that was reflecting back my internal state. It's just the message that I needed to receive that at that time, and it helped me that day, that moment. And I did feel a little bit more open to love, and I did become a little bit less cynical, and I did become a little less pessimistic and just less hurt, and I could feel it. And so I think Denise Lynn has shared with us a very special gift, and yeah, I just recommend this deck to you, to anyone who's watching. Openness and love. Now, as always, I pulled some cards for you guys. You guys got 3 cards. You got purity, relaxation, and forgiveness. And I know that you could be watching this video at any time, but I really feel like this message is extremely relevant for right now, October 2019, because a lot of people are angry, a lot of people are tense, stressed, and just kind of like polluted with this energy. I feel like that right now. I have been following a lot of other channels, and it seems to be that a lot of other people are feeling this right now. It's just the current state of things with the world, what's going on. So it's a very natural reaction, but I think that it's getting to be a little bit overwhelming. And so I think that's what this message is about. I think that to overcome this, whatever we're going through right now, everything that I just explained, practicing forgiveness. And this has been something that's been on my mind lately. And actually, talking about another deck, I once, pulled I received Kyle Gray's Ascended Masters deck, and, to like break that deck in, I asked it, what dominant figure is present in my life, and I was expecting to get something random and something, out of left field, like something cosmic, because I never really related to a lot of the religions in the world, and I never really related to, any of these sort of things. And then I got Jesus. But the message was about forgiveness, and I think if you're like me and you want to be free and actually ascend and grow as a human being and make it, we really do have to remember to practice forgiveness. Some people, they don't really know what they're saying. They don't really know that they're hurting us. They're just hurting themselves and going through life. That is true. Some people, they don't know how else to operate than the way that they're operating. And if you're like me and you believe in karma, there will come a day where they see how they impact us, and it will hurt them more than it will hurt us. They will have to live with the burden of how they negatively impacted all of us, as all of us will, because we're going to be in the same situation where one day we're no longer in this existence, and we're honestly looking at ourselves from a way that we never had before, and we're seeing how much we negatively impacted others in ways that we weren't even aware of. We're all going to have to do this eventually, and that's why we have to forgive ourselves and forgive other people, because it's just a never-ending cycle of karma and shame and guilt and so on and so forth. So I think that this is a good message, especially for right now, for those of us who can't understand why people are doing what they're doing. And if you're like me and you're very sensitive, it's hard to go day in and day out and see these things happening and not understanding why people are more compassionate, not understanding why people are more loving and more open in general, and more empathetic and less misanthropic and less hateful and less anything. We have to just let it go and forgive ourselves too, not just other people. Hopefully at the other side of this is some relaxation and purity. We can let go of the toxins in our lives, whether that be, drinking less alcohol because we feel like we need to relax a little bit more, especially when we're so tense all the time, or maybe just feeling a sense of purity that comes with letting go of those kinds of burdens and comes from letting go, trying to endlessly put up walls against these situations and these people and not understanding them, etc. So on and so forth. There brings like a clarity to ourselves and our lives. And now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever tensed up for a long period of time and then finally were able to let go, you kind of just have an overwhelming sense of relief. And so I think that now is a good time to kind of get into these states of mind to survive these next few months, because it's always something else here, it's always something else on Earth. So I hope you liked that reading. I didn't want to show you guys all the cards in the deck because I do believe in surprises. I think that's, important to not know every single card in the deck that you're going to get. But I did show you a good portion of it, and I hope that you guys like this deck too. Let me know in the comments, what your favorite Denise Lynn deck is, or if you've been looking at this deck and want it now, or whatever you feel like sharing. And so thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like my videos so that those who are meant to find my channel can. And I'll see you all very soon. Take care, guys.